Hey guys, today just gonna talk a quick video on, that's right, you guessed it, internal energy. Okay, basically it's related to the thermal properties of matter. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Okay, before we start, just to do a quick recap of two main types of energies that we know. Okay, you can see the one on the diagram on the left, that's basically a ball throwing from a height, that is gravitational potential energy. So we're going to talk a bit about potential energy, and also over here, that's right, you guessed it, kinetic energy. That means basically how fast an object actually moves. Okay, before we go, just a quick thought on gravitational potential energy. In other words, potential energy. A ball will have more potential energy if it is further away from the ground, right? So if it's nearer to the ground, it will have less potential energy. All right, so with that, just go straight into it. All right, so with that, if we look at the kinetic model of matter, that means if you start look at the objects at a molecular level. Okay, here what we have here, just a quick recap, we got solids, liquids, and gases. They are basically all moving, but just now we mentioned about kinetic energy and potential energy, right? So let's look first energy. Which one actually has the highest kinetic energy? That's right, the one that's gas, because it's moving the fastest, right? Okay, so now here's what about potential energy? Which one do you think has the highest energy? And you are right, it's probably gas. Why? Because in gas you can see the particles are much further apart. Okay, and in other words, also much less. So although we've got uh, they are far apart, so and large and small forces, okay, because of that they actually have higher potential energy. Okay, so it goes down. So gas has got higher potential energy as compared to solid, as well as higher kinetic energy as well. Okay, so basically where are we going with that? Okay, basically we are just going to talk about internal energy, and there are two main types of internal energy. There's internal kinetic and internal potential energy. Okay, basically this is also has to do with principle of conservation of energy, because if you were to add thermal energy to a liquid or to a solid, you were to heat up anything. Basically, where does your thermal energy goes to? The thermal energy actually goes into the water, goes into the solid by either increasing of either of these two. Is either goes to increase the internal kinetic or internal potential energy. Okay, so what's internal kinetic again? It's to do with the motion of the particles. That means the faster the motion, it actually has higher internal kinetic energy. And internal potential energy is basically to do with the intermolecular forces in between the particles, right? Okay, so internal kinetic energy, basically, in a nutshell, what you can see is that the higher the kinetic energy, the higher the temperature. Okay, it's related to temperature, as when for internal potential to do with the state. You can see for solids, liquids, and gases, gases has got the weakest intermolecular forces, whereas in solids they have the strongest forces. So you can see it's related also. Basically, we are just saying that the internal potential energy for a gas is much higher than that of a solid. Okay. All right. So with that, hope you enjoyed this brief video on internal kinetic and internal potential energies. See you in the next.